Hi, my name is Aditya Nbia and my registration number is 20BCG10029. Today, I am going to explain the code that implements the physics elements that makes my project work and be successful. This project was made by me as part of my game physics advertisement project. So first let us see how this project pans out. We have entered play mode now. That was what happens in this project. So basically, my project is about a homing missile system. This has been explained in another video, which I have also linked with this. So basically, what happens is this missile, which I have selected now, it will propel itself upward for a while, seek this green platform as the target, and it will head towards the green platform, thus destroying it in an explosion created by using the particle system software of Unity. So now let us talk about the code that makes this missile work and target the green platform. This has been made possible by this script, which I have titled homing projectile and attached to the missile prefab. So as you can see, it is written in C# code as usually is done in every Unity project, and it is actually a pretty easy code to understand. This has four different variables. First one being a transform target cube to target the platform which it is heading towards, a private force float which will govern the force with which the missile approaches the target platform, a private float rotation force which will govern the rotation speed at which the target rotates to seek and find the platform, and finally a private rigid body RB. This rigid body is placed on the missile, thus making it susceptible to gravity and other such rigid components. In the start part of the code, we have uh, called out the rigid body using a getComponent function. Then we have two different update classes. The first one is the fixed update class, which occurs first in the video. In this, if the target cube is not equal to null, or the target cube basically is existent, that is, if this means that if the target cube is existent in the frame, then the vector3 direction, vector3 being the type and direction being the variable name, the vector3 direction will be target cube dot position, or the position of the target platform minus the rigid body position. That is, the distance with which the missile has to travel is obtained from subtracting rigid body position, or the position of the rigid body placed on the missile, from the target cube's position, which has been provided by Unity engine in the inspector, as I'll show here. One second. If I take the ground, here you can see the position coordinates given, and we can call this as well. Here the missile also has a certain position coordinates. This is called by using the rigid body rather than using the missile name. We can also use the missile name by tagging it as something and then calling it towards it. Then we have a direction normalize function, which normalizes the direction vector, or just makes it normal, makes this value into a normal. Then the vector3. Now that we have discussed the direction and the distance with which the missile will have to travel in order to reach the target, we will now have the rotation amount, or the since the missile is moving in the upward direction and the target platform is on the side, we have to calculate the amount of rotation that the missile will have to undergo in order to directly face the target platform. This is done here by using vector3 dot cross transform dot forward comma direction function, where transform dot forward and direction are two variables which we use to find the amount of rotation required. Then by using a rigid body dot angular velocity function, we are calculating the angular velocity with which the missile will move towards the target platform, and we also have a rigid body dot velocity function which will govern the speed with which the missile will move. So here we have the angular velocity with which the thing will turn or the missile will turn, and the velocity with which the missile will travel. Then in an on collision enter, which is a collider, basically when this function means that when the rigid body or the collider which I have placed on the missile, one of which touches the touches the collider which I have placed on the target platform, it will call the destroy function of the game object, which basically destroys both the missile. The first destroy function destroys the target, and the second destroy function destroys the game object, thus destroying both and triggering an explosion. As I said before, the explosion is made using this particle system which I have made that emits particles in such a way that it looks like an explosion. Now let us see the whole thing from beginning after I have explained the code. The missile is taking flight, it is moving towards thing, and then it triggers the destroy function, destroying both the missile and the target platform, triggering the explosion particle system. So that is all that I have to provide for this missile system. It is a pretty easy and simple project, and all you need are basic knowledge of physics concepts such as angular velocity, normal velocity, and displacement. This also uses vector components to govern the direction of the travel. So this project can be made with anyone with a basic knowledge of unity, particle systems, and basic kinematic physics. So that is all from me about this project. I would like to thank Dr. Sriram Raghunathan for providing me with this opportunity to make this project, and I would also thank you for your attention in listening to me explain this project.